everybody. It is Super Ty. I am joined with my friend Comic Book Brando, and we're going to be talking about all the cool books that are coming out tomorrow, which is July 3rd.
The 3rd of July.
Okay, cool. I was right. So there's a lot of cool things happening tomorrow, as well as coming up in the next couple of weeks here at Austin Books. Starting with my first book, this ties into what's happening tomorrow. First book I'm doing is Sea of Stars by Jason Aaron, Dennis Hallam, and Stephen Green and Rico Renzi. So Dennis Hallam, you might not know that name, but you might know him by a different name as Dennis Hopeless, who worked on Marvel for a whole lot. He did a couple of Image books. He's been in the business for a while. He goes by Dennis Hallam now, and he's going to be here tomorrow from 6 to 8. He should be going by Dennis Hallam. That's his actual name.
That's just his
name. But he's going to be here from tomorrow from 6 to 8 signing this and any other books that you have of his. I'm going to be bringing my Cable and X-Force series, which I actually really enjoyed. And I'm going to get him to sign a couple of issues of that as well as this. It is awesome. This book is basically a space trucker and his kid are going through space, you know, delivering a shipment, and something happens and they get separated. The dad, he's kind of just like apparently eaten by a giant space shark, but the kid is saved by a space whale and space monkey. I put space in a lot of those in front of those things, but if you see what I'm talking about, that is the correct term. I really dug it. It's going to be like a really cool, you know, pursuit of family member kind of story. I'm really digging it. The artwork's great. I can't wait to see what happens next with it. So, tomorrow, 6 to 8, he's going to be here for signing.
Get your copy signed.
Yeah.
Lois Lane #1. So, the intrepid reporter of the Daily Planet is...
Did you have to think about it for a second?
I did, for just a split second. She gets her own book for the first time since the 70s?
Yeah.
I think it's the last time she had her own book.
And it's not Superman's girlfriend, it's just Lois Lane.
Yeah, they did like one-shots in the 90s, I think. But yes, she gets her own series, so we're getting cool reporting action. She's got an ally who's going to assist her that is not Superman. Someone else from the DC universe is going to be able to help her out with a special case overseas. And cool intrigue, and she's all fired up to take on big business interest in politics, and definitely my kind of thing. I'm really excited about this. I was stoked that this came out this week.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I forgot to mention, if you guys have any questions or comments or anything, just put it down in the comment section. We'll be more than happy to answer them. Yes. My bad. Forgot that. Should I tell them what's going on with this?
That?
Yes.
It's a shocking issue.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that?
Yeah. Come on by and pick this up. You'll want to. Trust me.
You do not want to miss this issue of Walking Dead. It is a...
If you successfully have avoided spoilers a lot, then this will definitely be...
It is the most surprising issue I've ever read, and that was... I mean, the last issue was pretty surprising.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all we're going to say about it. But, yes, pick it up.
Big things.
I'm trying not to spoil things for you people.
Immortal Hulk #20. One of our favorite Marvel books. It's just unstoppable. It's so good. It's brutal. It's horrific. And yet it's got so much heart. If you've been a long-time Hulk fan, and I have been, I mean, this makes references that even I'm not even 100% sure on. I'm like, wait, is that thing that happened 30 years ago? So good, but you don't have to know those things to enjoy the book. It just adds to the depth and complexity of it. Al Ewing is absolutely killing it, and I cannot recommend this book enough.
My next one is Thumbs by Image. I was really impressed with the first issue, and the second issue keeps it going. So the first issue, in case you didn't see this episode of us, is about a kid named Thumbs. In the future, there's this guy who's kind of like crazy Mark Zuckerberg that essentially, you know, adopts children to make an army to, you know, tear down the United States. But the main character, Thumbs, accidentally falls into a coma for like the next 10 years. So now he's waking up in a world that is not what he was raised in a world he never made. And he's trying to find his old allies because that's part of his training. Super great book. The artwork is very stark. There's only 3 colors used. It's gray, other gray, and hot pink. So I really enjoy this. If you liked stuff like, I don't know, that Netflix show Altered Carbon, this is very much in there. It's very cyberpunky, which I think is a lost genre. There should be more cyberpunk stuff.
Coming back.
It is good. I'm happy. I loved it. Johnny Mnemonic.
And oddly enough, it's actually Keanu Reeves like ushering it back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the new Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah. I might actually buy a video game.
You won't.
No, I won't. I'll watch somebody play it though.
You can. I'll stream it.
Okay,
for
cool.
you.
Thank you.
Doom Patrol: Weight of the Worlds, #1. So this restarts the previous Young Animals Doom Patrol run, but it continues where it left off. So we have our characters. Robot Man is no longer a robot man. Cliff Steele is actually a man.
It's a great opening page, I thought.
He's definitely enjoying the human experience on that opening page.
Yep.
But it's awesome because even if you haven't read Doom Patrol before, it gives you like just enough for each character to kind of have an idea what's going on, in as much as you can in a crazy, surreal, awesomely wild superhero book. Very different from anything else that's out there. Doom Patrol is one of my all-time favorite teams in the history of comics, and I've been loving the new run. You know,
Oh yeah.
it reflects the original run, it reflects the Grant Morrison run, and a little bit of everything else in between, with new flourishes added as well. Gerard Way is a fantastic comic writer, and I'm so glad to see it back on the shelf.
My next one is called No One Left to Fight. It is a new series by Dark Horse Comics. These are for fans of Dragon Ball Z or other really fun fight manga kind of stuff. Basically, this guy right here, he saved the world from a giant alien invader, Dragon Ball Z style. But
by yelling and powering up.
yeah, but like, it's done. Like, what is he gonna do now? Like, he saved the world and there's no other threats, so he goes and visits his friends that were along with him on the journey that led up to that. This is kind of like a epilogue to every big earth-shattering, you know, manga, essentially, you know, fight manga stuff. I enjoyed it. The colors are really bright and fun. There's a lot of frenzy happening in the middle of it. It's not my usual genre, but you know what? I'm in on this. I really dug it. So
I'm wildly interested in that.
yeah,
book.
it was really fun. And there's this like crab guy who like I love him. There's a pet squid. Yeah, that's my kind of stuff. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys pick this up tomorrow.
Savage Avengers 3. So we have Punisher, Conan, Wolverine, Brother Voodoo, Venom, and a new player on the board in this city of the Sickle City, I think is what it's called. As you can see, there's a little Venom action going on with Conan. They're trying to fill up a vessel with enough blood of warriors to bring back an ancient marrow god. Super fun, super crazy, just like B to the W, if you remember last week. Wild action, a great running gag involving a very familiar beer.
Yeah.
Super good, and just, you know, I talked to a lot of people who are just like, I don't want to see Conan in Marvel Universe. That's not cool. It is cool.
It is.
Because it doesn't necessarily ruin the character. It's just the character somewhere else. You get to enjoy him in a whole different way.
Another part of his, you know, life.
Yeah, so I totally love Conan hanging out with these guys. The cover of the next one has me very intrigued. Check this out if you just like wild fun, you know, B to the W.
B-dubs.
B-dubs, not BW3.
My next one is Green Lantern. So, wow, there is a lot of, well, every issue this happens where I'm just like, what is happening? And then it makes sense at the end of each issue, but you start off every single time just going, huh? So, Hal Jordan is in his space sector 2814, but there's all these different multiversal aspects of other people he knows, including himself, and of course his friend Evan Sewer. Not really friend, they only knew each other for 15 seconds before he died, but
my old pal.
yeah, this is actually Evan Sewer, but from if you remember Multiversity, that's where he comes from. So a lot of twists and turns in this, as usual. If you've been digging any of this Green Lantern series, this continues it. If you're wanting something that is just like, I need something different, boosh, this. It's awesome.
Nice. Superman Up in the Sky. So for those of you unfamiliar, this is the story Tom King has been writing. We mostly know Tom King more recently from Batman stories in like those 100-page Walmart things.
Right.
But this, like, they do a couple pages at a time. This is like the collection of them into like a full issue size comic.
Yeah.
Awesome story, intense story. Superman has a lot of pressure to be Superman and save people, and that's sort of like a common thread we've seen in recent years, how tough it has to be Superman and do everything he wants to do, but he just can't, because everyone's got limits. And he's faced with a problem that he desperately wants to solve, but does not know that he can. Very cool. We got like lots of little appearances from other characters, a little flash of Batman and some other folks in there. And Tom King just really writes a great DC hero, I've come to find out. So check this out if you want to get a different spin on Superman and a different spin on Tom King.
Speaking of Superman, hey, this is Deceased, number 3. So, just to catch you up in case you don't know what this story is about, the anti-life equation has been spread through TV signals and phone signals, so everybody who was looking at their phone or TV at that time is now a flesh-eating monster. And so far, in just 3 issues, we have lost a lot of people. We've also gained some people that you never would have expected them filling in certain roles. So this focuses on Superman, like he can, you know, he needs to be everywhere to fix everything, but can he be everywhere? And who are some of the closer people to him that don't get saved because he is helping too many other people? I really dig this. Tom Taylor is writing it. I think he's an amazing writer. Trevor Hersign, which took me a long time to really dig his artwork, but man, I dig it now. Like, he got me with that book Class War. That's where I started really digging his stuff. So, very fun slash, you know, sad, horrific DC horror story going on in this.
It's super fun, but it's not.
But people are eating.
Space Bandits, the newest one from Mark Miller and Matteo Scalera. So Mark's been on a sci-fi kick recently, and now we have 2 women who were a part of intense, badass criminal organizations or groups in the outer reaches of space. They have been wronged and are now going to get vengeance. The other conceit to this book is, it starts off by saying the 80s, it wasn't the 80s in the Midwest until the 90s.
Oh yeah.
Just imagine how long it takes to get to space.
Oh.
So the whole thing is done in like 1980s, sort of glam, neon, awesome style. It starts off aboard a cruiser liner, the Lionel Richie.
Yeah. Which I thought was great.
That made me laugh, and I was immediately on board. So check that out.
My next one is Justice League number 27. So Lex Luthor has pretty much given all of his fortune and technology away to all the other villains because he wants to bring doom to the galaxy and multiverse and everywhere else in between. So Martian Manhunter's been kidnapped by somebody. Is it Lionel Luthor? How could that be? Or could it be somebody else pretending to be? While that's all happening, the rest of the Justice League, they're trying to find the last living Monitor to try and keep the multiverse together, because if, you know, the Forger of Worlds and the last Monitor is around, then by definition the Anti-Monitor also has to be around. And if you guys know anything about comic history, it's never great when the Anti-Monitor shows up.
It's bad.
So this is all kind of like leading up to a big kind of battle that's coming up. I'm very excited about it. Once again, I keep on saying like, never gonna read Justice League, and then like every single issue I'm like, oh my god, I gotta see what happens next. I've been, every time this has come out the past like half year, I've been like, oh, check this out, it's crazy.
You have come around quite a bit on
I have
the DC
180 degrees.
Nice. Hey, what's this book? That's a classic. So as part of like the, what do they call these?
Facsimile editions.
Facsimile editions, that's right. They're reprinting original Marvel comics, almost, I mean, basically exactly as they were. You know, there's a different price in there, but this is the first appearance of Deadpool and Gideon and Domino. And look at that sweet vintage dungeon ad.
Oh yeah.
Or the ad for the Punisher Nintendo game.
I just saw one for Mega Man 3.
Yeah.
Who would have thought there'd be 3?
The Stan soapbox featuring Nightcat.
Oh man, I remember that. Wasn't she a real person?
She's a real person. She's a real performer. Kind of taking the old Dazzler idea and applying it to someone else, but it didn't quite work out. But yes, Wade, first appearance.
Yeah.
This is your chance to get it for not hundreds of dollars. You could get it for 4.
My next one is Uncanny XMen number 21. So this is the penultimate issue to the story arc and pretty much all the X-Men books until Hickman shows up. So the X-Men history is really hard to get through really quickly, especially
There's an entire series by Ed Piskor that will walk you through it.
Yeah, okay, so even the last 6 issues of this are really hard to summon. By summon, I mean sum up. So Cyclops and Wolverine basically started the X-Men all over again, but there's no X-Men because X-Man and Legion both sent them off to the Age of X-Man storyline. Okay, got that? So then these two are deciding to get everybody else who's left, which involves some new mutants, which involves some bad guys that they've messed with, which involves some alternate dimension bad guys. Anyways, they've all just found out that Emma Frost is the one that's pulling all of their strings, and everybody except for Kane Marco, Juggernaut goes, wait, you don't remember Emma Frost? Because his helmet keeps him from psychic attack, and everybody is just now learning, wait, who is this?
Oh, they don't remember.
They don't remember her at all, which then gets into even bigger things happening here. A lot of violence, a lot of not the character Carnage happening here. It leaves it on quite an excellent last page cliffhanger, which I was not expecting at all. So hopefully that summation was pretty good. There's been a lot happening in this. There's Warlock, multiple mans, just crazy things. So I've been really digging this. I can't wait to see what happens with Hickman's run, but I did really enjoy this series. I'm kind of sad to see this ending because it was a lot of new ideas that never really happened. So there you go, X-Men 21.
Arrow. Spinning out of the War of the Realms is a new character, Lei Ling, who is an architect in Shanghai. She has a deep affection for her city, and she will stop at nothing to protect it. She has the power to control the wind around her, which is going to be very helpful in stopping crime. Might not help so much when a giant, mile-long monster is floating above the city.
Qua?
Intense, awesome action, new character. We're getting to see this Agent of Atlas get her own series to kind of get a little bit more depth on the character. Plus a backup feature featuring waves as well.
Ah. You grabbed that one also, so I'm skipping that.
Dave, come on, man.
That's pretty great.
If I was talking about the history of X-Men, I could do it. But
okay, so my next one is one of those really cool $12.99 trades for us. It's, take off $1.30. Adventures of the X-Men. So this is a lot of X-Men stories that are presented in the animated series format. This basically just follows around all the X-Men doing crazy 90 things like fighting the Hulk, getting into some alien biz, giant space dragons, standard 90s X-Men stuff. But these weren't ever written down before, or they were never part of the cartoon. These are well, they were written down when it was originally. They were a comic, but yes, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
They've not been collected.
They have not been collected. And there's also Adventures of Spider-Man issue in here as well, because they had a little tie-in going on. This is great for younger readers if you want to get them into X-Men books or, just something different. Because, a lot of the younger Marvel stuff, they never really get into X-Men stuff. So finally being able to get my nephew, I'm going to buy this for him so he can get into X-Men now.
Sweet.
Yeah.
James said, Wind Beneath Your Wings. This is very much the Arrow story.
Trying.
I was also a fan of the Punisher NES game. I don't remember playing the Punisher one.
It was a side scroller. It was Punisher and Nick Fury, and they would run. It was just a side scroller, shoot 'em up.
I do remember Nick Fury being in that. I was more into Spider-Man and X-Men versus Arcade,
Yeah.
and on Genesis, the Spider-Man, I think it was just called Spider-Man. I loved that. I loved
The Spider-Man Maximum Carnage game, that one was really fun for
that
me.
game.
It's hard.
That game sucks. I hate that game. Except I did love the Green Jelly soundtrack, Green Jello.
Yeah.
But that third level just, I about cracked that cartridge in half. I was so angry. Star Wars, Target Vader. So, hey, look, it's Valance from the old Star Wars comics. He's a bounty hunter, and now he has the unenviable job. He's been hired on to kill Darth Vader. But he does have like a new team of other bounty hunters to help him out, even though he prefers to work alone. He's a cool character. I've always enjoyed him. I like seeing him sort of brought back into the Star Wars universe. So give this one a read if you like the bounty hunters and the sort of the tough guy aspects of Star Wars, the grim and gritty outer planets kind of situations. I dug this, and I think you will too.
James, to answer your question,
Yes.
this is based off of like the style of the 90s cartoon.
I thought it was the actual cartoon.
No, so that was called X-Men Adventures. That was the actual cartoon, adaptation. This is like just in the style of that series.
I don't remember this series at all.
It wasn't out that long, but it still had some really awesome stuff happening in it.
Cool.
My next one is a book that actually came out right the day that you interviewed me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a little disagreement about this book. Joker by Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo. This is now part of the Black Label. This is the first time it's ever been collected in a softcover. If you're not familiar with this book, I really dig it. Brian Azzarello is so in his crime mode with this. It follows this guy named Johnny Frost, and he is just told by his boss, hey, go pick up the Joker from Arkham Asylum. And then it's just a nightmare-fueled cross-Gotham murder spree / window into the mind of the Joker / like just disturbingness all over. I really dig it. Lee Bermejo's artwork is solid in this. It's just dark and gritty and mean. If you never read this, it is definitely worth your time.
Conan the Barbarian. We've got the return of Hyrule's most powerful warrior from slave to king.
Hyrule?
Not Hyrule. That is
Legend of Zelda.
Hyboria.
There we go. I was like, whoa,
It's like
here we go.
I would have eventually corrected myself.
Link versus Zelda. That'd be great.
Link versus Zelda?
Versus Conan, I'm tired.
Yeah.
We can make mistakes.
Right?
We can make mistakes.
So, yes, Jason Aaron brings Conan back to Marvel Comics, and it has been awesome. So we're like in classic Conan, Robert E. Howard tradition. Every issue kind of jumps to a different part of Conan's life. The reason why Howard always did that was because, when you remember things, when you're telling stories, you don't tell things in chronological order.
No.
It's like, hey, remember that time we went to go see that show and blah, blah, blah happened?
Yeah.
That's how you do that. You just remember things and you bring it up, and that was always the conceit of Conan. So I love that they bring that back, and it's been so good. It's been just dead-on writing, fantastic views of what's going on in the world around him, all the different races and places and things going on. But ladies, there's an ongoing thread at the end of every issue. The first issue deals mostly with it, but then like they keep touching on it, and like it's is it the end of Conan? Is it like Conan's last story? I've been intrigued. I've loved it. It's so good. Every issue just perfect. So even if you don't know that you like Conan, try it out.
And
oh yeah, I have another one to do. Monstrous. Look at this gigantic hardcover, beautiful volume. This has the first 18 issues of the critically acclaimed, fan-acclaimed fantasy story. Beautiful art. It's so good, and it has been like just one of the most popular comics since it started coming out. So Now you can have a fantastic archival style edition to have it in.
All right, cool. Let's get into what's coming up really quick, because I know you have a certain wall-crawling movie to see eventually today. So tomorrow we got the signing with Dennis Hopeless Hallam. That's gonna be Sea of Stars. He's gonna be here from 6 to 8. What do you got going on?
We're going to be playing Magic on Friday. Actually, there's a pre-release Friday at 3 p.m. and also at 7-ish p.m. We're gonna. It's the first time they've done Friday pre-releases, so very stoked about that. Very excited. It's the new core set 2020 and a lot of new cards, a lot of fun stuff. Very jazzed about that. Of course, Saturday we'll be playing games, tabletop games at Outlaw Moon, whatever you want to play, whatever you feel like. We'll have it. We have lots of demos. We've got people that bring games. I bring games, so it's a good time.
Nice. I really don't have anything going on, so, like, at all. So, you got anything else?
Yeah.
Cool. Well...
Just speed right past this.
Well, yeah, so I just really don't have anything going on.
Come say hi to Dennis tomorrow.
Yeah. Come on by for that. That's my most exciting thing this week.
Come say hi to us tomorrow.
Yeah, say hi to me. I'm lonely. If we don't got anything else, you can follow me at Super Ty Denton 1. And you can follow you at
Comic Book Brandon.
You can follow both of us at Austin Books, and we will see you tomorrow. Pa-pa-cha-cha.
I wasn't yawning during the history of the X-Men.
Maybe.